Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Walmart off of Lake Road in McKinney, Texas. As always, plant foldies, please make sure you are hitting that like button as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest way to get in contact with me directly and also to get some news about the channel. It is a late afternoon, early evening impromptu plant shopping. I haven't been to this Walmart in quite a while, but this Walmart is actually a Walmart that carries quite a bit of plants. So we're going to see if there's any interesting plant finds. I've noticed that certain Walmarts have started to get restocked again with some indoor tropical plants. So we're going to walk over here and just kind of pan over and see what they have available. I love to do big box store plant shopping videos, and it's really fun to be able to just show you all of this plants that I can find at big box stores daily. So for those that are new to the channel, welcome. I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. We are going to be visiting this Walmart to see what they have. So it looks like their outdoor section has become a little bit more sparse. So we'll see if we'll get more indoor or outdoor tropical plants. You can see right here, right off the bat, we've got an oleander flower here. Now the thing about oleanders plant foldies is, again, it is a poisonous plant. It's very toxic. This one is for $11.84. This is the hardy white oleander. You can see that it's got some beautiful blooms. This is about the time that oleanders bloom, at least in my grow zone, which is 8B. And that's the thing for anybody that is wanting to do outdoor landscaping, gardening outdoors. You want to take a look at some of your grow zones. You can see right here they've got some celosa plants. These desperately need some water. It has been over 100+ degree weather in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at, so I can see how some of these plants are super dehydrated. But I am happy to see that they have these mixed planters of coleus plants here. These are for $17.88, and with coleus plants, they are very easy to care for plants. They're versatile plants, so these are plants that you can grow as an outdoor annual or even an indoor house plant. I have a coleus obsession. I know earlier in the spring I was basically collecting every single coleus plant, and the reason being is because coleus are very easy to take care of. The only thing about coleus plants is that they're very thirsty plants, so you have to make sure that you are watering them daily. And in the summer heat in Texas, you might want to water them twice a day. But overall, very fast growing, easy to care for plant, easy to propagate. You can literally take a coleus cutting, stick it in soil. Within 3 to 4 days, it is already rooted. And you can see right over here, their selection of succulents and cactus is also a little bit light, but a little birdie did tell me that there might be some potential rare philodendron, potentially some variegated monstera here. So definitely stay tuned for this video, at least the latter part of this video, to see what plant finds I might find. But you can see right off the bat we do have a bunch of these cactus and succulents. Now the thing about cactus and succulents is they definitely need to have fast draining succulent type soil. Soil amendments or things that you can mix into your succulent mix would be perlite, akadama soil. You can put pumice, orchid bark, things of that nature to really get it fast draining. Like this one right here is a really cool variegated agave for $24.46. I do recommend Walmart if you're going to buy succulents and cactus, just because they have the most cost-effective pricing. I like to steer people to big box stores because, number one, like I've said in all of my plant shopping videos, big box stores are very accessible to everybody, at least in the United States. And then number two, I think that if something is accessible as well as like the house plants here, then that is a huge plus, because I believe that house plants in general should be accessible to everybody. It shouldn't just be for a specific niche or somebody who has quite a bit of money to buy plants. I think plants should be cost effective, affordable, because plants really do bring people joy. I know that I have a lot of joy just being able to come out and actually film plant content for y'all. I know that some of you, some of our plant foldies were concerned that I was overworking myself. I mean, I know that I do have a very demanding job, and what happens is after my job, which is about 10 hours a day, I come out and actually film and try to edit my videos so I can at least have a 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. premiere for all of our plant foldies. I am a little disappointed when I'm not able to get some new content, but it doesn't mean that I'm actually overworking myself. It just means that I'm really dedicated and passionate to my craft. I mean, just to be able to show you these really nice succulents, for instance, these are for for $3.93. I just find joy being able to pick up plants, really look at them, admire them, and then to be able to take you alongside with me for this, my plant shopping videos. I know that the majority of plants I feature in my videos are plants that you've seen the previous day, the previous week, but there's just a certain level of joy I do bring just being able to at least show you these plants. Now, the thing about succulents again is I would recommend only watering succulents when the soil is completely dry, but also when you water a succulent plant, you want to make sure that your succulents are not top watered. Like if you can help not watering the leaves or the foliage, that's best, because if water kind of sticks around, on the leaves and it doesn't dry out quickly, it could potentially rot the succulent. And that's a lot of times why succulents end up dying, is through overwatering, and for water just to sit on the crevices of their leaves, and it would just really rot that. So just a couple of tips for succulents. I'm not an expert, but I do like certain succulents. For instance, like this is a Kalanchoe chocolate soldier for $4.97. And what I like about this Kalanchoe is it has that velvety texture. Even the borders of the leaves have that nice deep brown chocolate texture. That's the thing about these plants, especially succulents. They have so many different textures. Their shapes are really, just uniform and interesting. And there's just so many varieties. That is definitely a plant genus that I haven't really invested a lot of time to learn about, more so even grow in my collection. I think oftentimes I gravitate to plants that I have either been exposed to for a while or I have just an innate interest. Succulents, it's going to take me a little bit of time because they just require quite a bit of light, and I haven't really figured out the watering for them. Some people will say yes, you want to keep them on the drier side, but then again, you also have to stay consistent with the watering. I would think that succulents would work best for me just because I tend to be an underwaterer. And somebody, if you don't know what that term means, that means that you tend to not water your plants as frequently as you need to water your plants. Therefore, there's a little bit of a drought spell. I would think that for succulents, for instance, that would actually be beneficial, because if you are an overwaterer, I would say succulents aren't necessarily the best plant to do, just because that's quick. You can quickly root rot them. Now, this is an Aeonium kiwi. Now, these are my favorite type of succulents. When I actually visit California, I see these on the coastal cities of California just growing in people's landscapes, and they are thriving. So it just really depends on your grow zone on whether you can grow succulents in a landscape. If you live in Texas, you would assume that since we have hot weather in the summer, that we would be able to grow succulents year round. That's not necessarily the case, because succulents aren't necessarily cold tolerant. There are a couple, but they wouldn't be able to survive some of our frost, some of our snow that we receive in North Dallas. Now, here is a plant that I'm always going to feature in every single plant shopping video, especially if I'm showing plants outdoors. This is a cordyline Hawaiian tea plant, and what makes the cordyline Hawaiian tea plant special is because of the dark foliage leaves. Now, this is a plant that it does best growing outdoors. If you're to grow a cordyline plant indoors, at least in my experience and from other people's experience, it tends to be a little bit more spider mite prone. So it's best to grow a cordyline plant outdoors. It does prefer more humidity. I know that when I was in the Philippines on vacation about a month ago, my family's originally from the Philippines, so that's the reason why I was out in the Philippines. I saw cordyline to Hawaiian tea plants just growing wildly all over, just everywhere, like in people's landscapes, gardens, the jungle, the side of the road, and they were doing absolutely fine. Now, over here is another type of fern that I find endearing just because the texture is really soft. This is a foxtail fern, and this one is only for $14.88. This is under the Florida Sun nursery. I really like this as well. And the Under the Sun Florida nursery tends to source out some very cost-effective plants. Like these are some Croton petras, for instance, and we can talk about crotons for a second. Crotons are Amazing plants. I think they're beautiful. They're not for everybody. Some people really don't like them. I love the foliage. The same thing with the cordyline plant, but I love crotons in a sense that they are legitimately a true tropical plant. And that was really validated when I went to the Philippines. Again, these plants were growing into full-blown trees. They're absolutely stunning. And you can see right here, this one is for $7.84. This one is in a 8-inch planter, I would think. Look at the color of this Croton Petra. Now, Croton Petra is really influenced by the amount of light it receives. Actually, crotons really need a lot of light. I did see them growing in the jungles of the Philippines in deeper shade, and they were doing fine. But I would say if you're going to grow a croton, you definitely want to make sure that you are giving it quite a bit of light. Now, I'm going to walk into the indoor section of Walmart. At least this Walmart has like an end cap or a little shipper with a bunch of Costa Farms plants. You can see this one is a Dieffenbachia in a 6-inch planter, and this one is for $9.97. Now, the thing about these Costa Farms plants is that they are cost effective, at least at Walmart. These are under the Garden Expert line, which is basically Walmart's name brand for Costa Farms plants. And you can see over here we have another one for $9.97. This is a Dracaena lemon lime or lemon surprise. Beautiful plant. Dracaena, very underrated plant, and I will continue to say this in all of my plant shopping videos, but I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about Dracaenas. That is an easy to care for plant. It is low light tolerant and it is drought tolerant, so that would be a plant I would recommend for anybody, as well as this Dracaena fragrans right over here. Now, the Dracaena fragrans gets a little bit larger. The leaves or the growth habit is not as compact as that Dracaena lemon lime, but look at how beautiful it is. I love that green on green variegation. This plant can get fairly tall as well, up to 4 to 5 feet tall. It can get a very caney, woody trunk, but I really love the look of that as well. And then over here we've got a Epipremnum aureum golden pothos for $9.97. Really like this golden pothos, and you know, for those that get into indoor house plants or growing plants, house plants indoors, I would assume most people have started out with a pothos plant of some sort, specifically that golden pothos. And then this is interesting. So this is a Dieffenbachia crocodile. So this is actually a more uncommon Dieffenbachia. I like the texture of the leaves and just the coloration. This one is also for $9.97. It tends to be more of a narrow growth pattern versus it being clumping or spreading. And then over here is a Trending Tropicals Costa Farms plant for $19.84. This is an Alocasia dragon scale, and I love the look of an Alocasia dragon scale. You can see that this is fairly healthy. I just recently purchased one actually from Costco. Costco has some Trending Tropicals as well, and they were only for $17.99. So again, plant foldies, you really want to make sure that you are checking out all of the pricing at big box stores. Some big box stores have more cost-effective pricing than others. You'd be surprised that sometimes grocery stores as well have some more cost-effective pricing. Either way, if you are a local plant foldie, somebody that lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, highly recommend you subscribe to my channel with the notification bell on if you really want to stay up to date on what plants are coming into the Dallas-Fort Worth market. Now, obviously, if you are not in Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would still hope that you would, at this point, would subscribe to my YouTube channel at Grow Folds with the notification bell on. The reason why you want to have the notification bell on is because I tend to do live premieres, and sometimes I can't schedule them right at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. With the notification bell on, it'll just notify you as soon as I put up an upload. So I would love for you guys to join me on that. And you can see that right over here, this is another Exotic Angels Costa Farms plant, $4.97. That's another Croton Petra. I just picked up a Fatschedera or a Pia tree plant right there. And then over here is a Philodendron heteroraceum, just the green form. Some people will call this a Philodendron cordatum. Honestly, I don't know what the difference is between the two, but what I do know is it's got a beautiful heart-shaped leaf and it is easy to take care of. Now, over here, plant foldies, we've got a beautiful Palea as well. This one is a really nice one just because I like the the texture of the leaves. It's got a very interesting texture, and this one is also for $4.97. Really like the look at this one as well. This is called the Moon Valley Pilea, and I do like Pilea plants. Surprisingly, I've been able to keep Pilea plants alive even though they are a very thirsty plant. Now over here is a Epipremnum aureum Pearls in Jade, or this is a Pearls in Jade pothos for $4.97. Another beautiful and easy to care for plant. This is another pothos variety, and I have been on a kick of just wanting to collect pothos plants. And then over here, I'm back at it as well. This is a exotic illusion syngonium plant. I like this as well for $4.97. Look at how beautiful that pink veining is on that syngonium. I find that syngonium are easy to care for plants. The only thing I will say about syngoniums is, number one, you want to give them bright indirect light. Number two, you want to make sure that you water them more consistently, as in you definitely want to wait till either the soil dries out completely and then water it, but you don't want to not water it for a while, and just keep it in drought, because that's when the plant will really succumb to just plant pests, because it starts to just get unhealthy. And then over here we've got a philodendron hederaceum. Again, this is another heart leaf shape type of philodendron. And then we have another golden pothos right over here, and I love the look of golden pothos. I think it's really beautiful as well. Look at that. Now if you give it a lot more bright light, pothos plants do extremely well. I think they actually just make really easy to care for plants, and that's just another one I would recommend for a beginner. I did want to show you some more of these plant products I use. So I've shown this before, but I love using this indoor plant food. That one I just put like a drop into my watering can, and I basically fertilize or feed my plants with a little nutrients every single day. I use the all-purpose plant food by Miracle Grow as well. I think that Miracle Grow fertilizer as a general fertilizer works very well for my plants. I've used them for more than a decade. I also use the Quick Start Miracle Grow liquid solution to pot up some of my propagations and to actually just give a little bit of nutrients to some of my hydroponic plants, my plants that are just growing in straight water. And then if you ever want some recommendations on some of the plant pest sprays I use this particular one. This is Garden Safe plant spray. That one is what I use, especially when I buy a brand new plant, to just spray on the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, the undersides of the leaves, the tops of the soil, the bottom of the drainage hole, just to try to kill any potential pest hitchhikers. Now I don't use that anymore just because I have my own neem oil spray, but that is something I would recommend investing in, is just getting some plant pest sprays. Now over here, plant foldies, I'm back outside because I'm going to start featuring some of the more indoor tropical plants that they actually have growing outside. This one is a Dieffenbachia maculata. This one is for $19.84. Again, this is another beautiful Dieffenbachia, or Dieffenbachia, however you want to pronounce it. Beautiful variegation. Now with Dieffenbachia, they do need quite a bit of bright light in order for them to really do well. And then over here, we have a bunch of Coleus Campfire. I love Coleus Campfire just because look at how beautiful the color is. Now the thing about Coleus Campfire is the more bright light you give it, and actually can be grown in full sun, the better, more coloration it's going to get. It's going to be even more red. This is another Coleus plant that is easy to take care of. You can take so many cuttings from it, and when you cut it back, it actually gets more bushy. Coleus plants can become a little bit leggy, so you want to make sure you're constantly somebody has to just you just have to make sure that you are constantly pulling, cutting the Coleus plant down. That way it will be more bushy. Otherwise it's going to get leggy. I love Coleus plants. That is another plant that most people would not think to grow as an indoor house plant, but it is a plant that I would recommend. It is such an easy plant, and a lot of people in Europe actually grow Coleus plants. They call them the palette leaf plants. There's so many different types of hybrids. My backyard has quite a bit of Coleus plants growing in containers. Now for me to overwinter them, I have two options. I can just take a bunch bunch of cuttings and water propagate them and just keep them in water until it gets warm enough to pot them up in soil and have them grow outside. I like to grow coleus plants more so outdoors in a shaded area or in a full sun situation because it's easy for me to water them. Coleus plants are extremely thirsty, and so if you don't water them, they will definitely droop, and if you let them go too long without water, they eventually could die. So you just have to make sure that the watering actually stays consistent with that. Now we're gonna walk over here, plant foldies, and I'm getting to the exciting part, but I did want to show you a couple more of the outdoor plants. We've got some tropical hibiscus here, we've got some oleander here, and then it is mum season. So we're gonna talk about mums for a little bit. So mums typically, or chrysanthemums typically, come out in the late summer or early fall seasons. It is more of like a fall type plant. It's kind of like crotons. Like crotons, for some reason, they end up just showing up at big box stores out of nowhere. I think it's because of the color. So you can see that these chrysanthemum or mums, they've got different varieties. So this one's the red ones, they've got yellow ones, they've got orange ones and white ones. This one is for $17.97. Now the thing about mums is that they prefer to be in a lot of light, full sun if you can. They are thirsty, so you want to make sure that you're watering them consistently. When you grow them in a specific grow zone, like I think in my grow zone, which is 8B, they can actually be a perennial. And what that means is if a plant is considered a perennial, it means that it can grow through a whole growing season, die off in the winter, and then come back in either the spring or the summer, and it will continue to come back year after year. I love that. And then these are the garden mums, only for $6.97. That's really a good price. And I love the fact that mums are more readily available in the late summer, early fall. But if you're ever looking for chrysanthemum or mums, you can actually find them year round at grocery stores. That's where you typically find them, in the floral section. But you can see right here, they've got a sea of mums. Now these ones are already in bloom. I would recommend buying mums that are not fully in bloom yet, just because you'll be able to keep the blooms a little bit longer. The thing about mums is if they end up dying as far as the blooms, you can chop it back and get a second flush of blooms. I love mums. At one point I wanted to collect all different types of mums. I was even able to make a couple of mum bonsai. And yeah, that's really interesting. I might have to try to find some of my old school plant pictures and put them on my plant Instagram. If you're not following me already, please make sure you are following me at GrowFolds. I really love connecting with you guys. And speaking of connecting with you guys, I love being able to talk about plants with you guys, even on Instagram. And what's really nice about GrowFolds Instagram is that's where you'll get a lot of the information about the channel. I will be showing my plant foldy t-shirts, my GrowFolds t-shirts. And for those that are going to PlantCon, oh my gosh, it is only 5 more days away. I am so excited. I cannot wait to meet all of our local plant foldies at PlantCon this coming Saturday. We are planning on meeting at PETA's Planters booth at 11 a.m. That Saturday. I will be wearing a GrowFolds t-shirt, so I will be easily accessible. You'll be able to find me. I know that I am faceless on YouTube, but I cannot wait to meet you plant foldies. Now, as far as the t-shirt, I know some of you guys have inquired on whether, PlantCon is the only way you can get access to the t-shirts. I will be able to ship them out. You would just need to send me a direct message on Instagram. I am hoping to find some type of online shop to where I can sell some of my merch. There are some other plant foldy merch that I'm working on, such as like another Hydra Helix t-shirt. And if you are new to the channel, I mispronounce Hedera Helix, which is English ivy. It is a plant foldy inside joke, staple, however you want to call it. But I am designing a Hydra Helix t-shirt. That is definitely something that pretty much is like brand recognition for GrowFolds. But anyways, plant foldies, now that we're done looking at mums, we're going to go to the main event and take a look at all of these beautiful tropical plants. Really like the look of these tropical plants. Like you can take a look at this anthurium, for instance. Look at this colorful anthurium, really nice looking anthuriums. Now anthuriums, these ones are the large form anthuriums. I believe this one, let's see how much it is. I'm trying to figure this out. I think it's usually $24.47 or $17.97, somewhere around the range. Now, anthuriums, this is the most basic anthurium. So there's definitely different types of anthuriums, but this is the one that I'm most aware of, and it has that beautiful bloom. And you can see right here, this is the Easy Plant Care. What I love about this particular anthurium is not only does it have some beautiful blooms, it has beautiful waxy shiny leaves. Now I have some more anthuriums that I am going to be getting from PlantCon. I recently got some from Green Spaces ID, which is a plant importer in Indonesia, and my anthurium is doing extremely well. But these anthuriums do very well in many soil substrates. I am currently growing mine in hydroponics, although I am thinking about just converting it to leca. Either way, I love the look of it. Now, plant foldies, let me know in the comments what you think about this particular plant. If you grow anthuriums, you already know plant foldies. I am always looking to see if you are able to give me some comments in the comment section. I love that engagement. You know, comment as much as you want. I will respond to every single comment. That is a promise. So ask me anything. Obviously, be positive about it. But I definitely would love to hear from y'all about what you think about the plants I'm featuring and so forth. Now, over here is a bromeliad. This is a pineapple bromeliad. So the cool thing about it is, and I didn't know this for a while, is pineapples are actually part of the bromeliad family. So all of those beautiful, colorful blooms that you see at big box stores are actually bromeliads, and those pineapples are actually related to it. You can see that it's got a miniature pineapple as well. So pineapple bromeliad. Now these are by Growers Bench, which is actually part of Wild Interiors. That is their more curated line, I would suppose. And this one is for $17.97. Look at those miniature pineapples. I think that is super cute. And then we have a bunch of miniature Phalaenopsis orchids. Really like the look of this as well. Over here, we've got a Monstera Peru for $19.84. Another trending tropicals Costa Farm plant. Now, I've noticed that the Monstera Peru, this one has some really good texture on the leaves, and you can see that they've got a description. That's the thing I like about these Costa Farm plants. They do have a description of the plant and some plant care tips. Notice how beautiful the texture is on a Monstera Peru. That is another plant that I'm hoping to get a variegated version of from PlantCon 2024. And again, plant foldies, if you are going to PlantCon 2024, let's all meet up at PETA's Planters booth at 11 a.m. I'd love to see all of you. And then over here is a huge silver band Marantha hanging basket. Now this one is for $20.84. Love the silver band Marantha. And you know, this is a plant that was uncommon a couple years back, and now you can see these readily available at a big box store. And you know, my opinion is once a plant makes it into a big box store, I don't really consider it an uncommon or rare plant anymore, because big box stores typically will get restocks of these plants. So as tempted as I am to purchase like this silver band Marantha, I mean, the hanging basket looks really nice. It is another plant that I really have to hold back on, because number one, I have to hold on to my budget for PlantCon, and number two, sometimes we have the urge to purchase plants that we don't necessarily need in our plant collection just yet. This one over here, and oh my gosh, there's a bromeliad that just fell. I have to pick that up. This one is some type of peperomia. I think it is a teardrop for $19.84. The only thing I will say about this particular Walmart, it is a Walmart that is known to have quite a bit of plants. I just wish that the plant organization, the plant styling, however you want to call it, was just a little bit more on point in terms of just the organization. It has a bunch of these plants growing outside in a shaded area, so that's a good thing, but we just have all of these plants jumbled up. If I were to just put a small critique on this big box store, I wish that they would have the plants a little bit more organized. It'll just make it easier for us to shop. And you can see this one, a Monstera Peru right over here, is already trailing. I love Monstera Perus again. I was gifted one from a plant foldie by the name of Gloria. So thankful that she gave me one of these. It is an easy to care for plant. Now, it is a plant that wants to climb up. So, you know, with a lot of the Monsteras, they typically need to have some type of plank moss pole or something of that nature to make sure that it has something to attach on. And then you can see right over here, plant foldies for $19.84. We've got a Tradescanthia Burgundy, super full, super compact. I really like that. And you know, with Tradescanthia, they can get a little bit leggy, but this one is really compact. I have a couple of Tradescanthia. My favorite would be the Tradescanthia Nanook, which is more of a pink Tradescanthia with bigger leaves, but that one's not a bad looking Tradescanthia as well. It looks a little bit sun stressed, so you can see that there is a little bit yellowing on the leaves. That's just got a little too much sun. And then over here, we've got a Dracaena Lemon Surprise for $9.97. So the thing about Dracaena Lemon Surprise, it is a plant that can get large. $9.97 for a 6-inch planter. Again, that's probably the most cost-effective pricing for any 6-inch planter as far as like a house plant. And you can see right over here, a Chameleon ZZ. Love these. I actually got my Chameleon ZZ from this particular Walmart. And notice the veining on the leaves. Look at how the new leaves just come out really neon yellow greenish color. That will need quite a bit of light for it to really hold on to its neon color. So you just have to make sure that the Chameleon ZZ gets quite a bit of light. It is a plant that can tolerate lower light conditions because it is a ZZ plant, but to keep that variegation, you have to give it light. And in Silver Streak Pothos, you can see that the leaves are curling. This means that that particular plant is actually thirsty for water, so it's going to definitely need to get hydrated soon, or else it'll start to decline in its health. And then over here, plant foldies, they've got quite a bit of you know, they've got quite a bit of these Monstera Perus. Really like the look of that as well. This is called the Green Galaxy Monstera or the Monstera Peru. You can see the texture of the leaves. It looks really nice, and I just find this, you know, green leaf Monstera beautiful. You know, a lot of times we'll look for the variegated forms. I am honestly looking for the variegated form, but even green, just that lush green color is so satisfying. Now over here are a bunch of Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. This one is in a hanging basket for $11.97. So this is by Garden Expert again. This is a plant that is basically sourced out by Costa Farms, but is labeled under the brand Garden Expert by Walmart. So you will get some of the more cost-effective pricing, you know, $11.97. Typically a Costa Farms hanging basket will be like $16. And then over here is another 6-inch planter of golden pothos, again by Garden Expert for $9.97. Plant foldies, you can never have enough of these pothos plants. You know, what I love about pothos plants, I say this in all of my videos, is they are easy to propagate, easy to take care of. They are just easy plants in general. You know, people will say they are basic plants, but there's nothing wrong with the basic plant, especially if it's going to bring you a lot of joy. And then over here is a Monstera Adansonii, another trending tropicals plant for $19.84. And as you can see at this Walmart particularly, that's the only thing that is disappointing. It's just that these plants are kind of jumbled up and mixed up, which makes it a little bit more challenging to really pilfer through a lot of the plants. Honestly, I would even volunteer to organize these plants by genus and type, and I just feel like you would sell more plants at this particular Walmart if they were just more merchandised and just organized a little bit better. This is one of my favorite planters from Walmart. I love that matte finish gray. It's a really nice charcoal look on it. And then we're gonna just keep taking a look at some of these plants. You never know what plant finds you'll find. I mean, here is another gorgeous Chameleon ZZ. And again, Chameleon ZZs are uncommon, or at least we don't see this often. I believe these Chameleon ZZs have been growing here for a while. I remember seeing these actually a couple months back. I haven't really seen any other Walmart really restock Chameleon ZZs. And again, this is a Walmart that I frequent in the past. I haven't done so lately. So as far as the plants, so they have quite a bit of a selection. I've been able to find lots of plants. Again, I just wish that this Walmart would particularly have these plants a little bit more organized. Maybe I'm just being a little bit nitpicky. And, you know, for those that say that I might be a little too critical on big box stores, it's not that. It's just that I really do care about these plants. And I do understand that a lot of these big box stores, you know, maybe the plants aren't their top priority. You know, a lot of big box stores, they're in the business just to sell as much as they can, and whether it's a bunch of plants or other products. But the thing about it is, with plants like this Syndapsis, for instance, you know, the care into it may not always be the top priority. You have to think that some of their employees may not be as versed in the plant care. So you know, that's probably what you get as far as like big box stores. Again, I love shopping at big box stores, particularly for these types of plants, like this Alocasia Black Velvet, for instance, by Growers Bench, $17.94. It is a good value for an alocasia. And, you know, the Black Velvet Alocasia, for instance, this one is a little bit dehydrated. You can see that the leaves are curling down. Beautiful plant. It is a spider mite prone, more so than most alocasias because it has that velvety texture. For some reason, plants that have a little bit more velvety texture tend to be a little bit more spider mite prone, but you can see that it is mixed up around a bunch of golden pothos. Love golden pothos. It is one of my first plants, and wow, I knew it. Plant foldies, look at this. Monstera Thai Constellation. And I know that I've been able to find Monstera Thai Constellations at other stores, but not Walmart. Literally, this is the first time I've seen a Monstera Thai Constellation at Walmart. Look at how beautiful the leaf is right here. I am excited, although that is unfortunate that that leaf is actually bent, but you can see, let's see how much the price is. So it looks like it is $39.97. So, you know, basically $40. Now, this is by Growers Bench again. I love the fact that they have Monstera Thai Constellations plant foldies. Let me know in the comments if you love Monstera Thai Constellations, and let me, you know, give me a like if you're excited to see this Monstera Thai Constellation. Again, plant foldies, your likes and comments really help push my videos out to more plant lovers like you. It actually gets me going in terms of wanting to come out and film these plant content. So please hit that like button. But you can see that this Monstera Thai Constellation is about to unfurl a new leaf. The only thing about it is I am just disappointed that a beautiful specimen like this may have just kind of been moved around a lot. Like, I would honestly merchandise this Monstera Thai Constellation to where it is a focal point. Maybe some people didn't know that these Monstera Thai Constellations are there. Again, plant foldies, if you're looking for a Monstera Thai Constellation and you live in the Frisco, Allen, Prosper, McKinney area, I would recommend going to this particular Walmart. They have, I'm assuming they're going to have more Monstera Thai Constellations. This is off of Lake Road. This is a Walmart that is heavy traffic, so definitely check it out. But anyways, plant foldies, we'll keep looking for Monstera Thai Constellation. But look at this Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Beautiful plant. It's got some nice rounded leaves. This one is also for $19.84. And again, plant foldies, what a gorgeous looking plant. I need this in my life. What a gorgeous looking plant again. You know, I already have a Monstera, not a Monstera, I'm sorry, Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil in a 6-inch planter, but I could always use an 8-inch planter. I mean, look at that. That is such a beautiful leaf, and it's a little bit more round than I typically see. Philodendron Hederaceum, gorgeous plant. I need that in my life. I mean, I need all of the plants, honestly. And then, you know, plant foldies, as much as I've done so many new plant shopping videos, I just am excited where the future of my plant collection is going to be. I have talked about doing a houseplant collection. It is coming. It is coming soon. We'll see what that looks like. Again, if you want to see a houseplant tour, please leave that in the comments. Please hit the like button. It's really going to get me excited to do so. But as you can see, plant foldies, that is the only critique I have, is like all of these gorgeous plants. If they were just organized just a little bit better, I think it would just be more shoppable for people like me to plant shop. I would probably end up buying more plants like this one right here. For instance, it's Monstera Peru. Gorgeous looking Monstera Peru, and look at the veining of it again. You know, leave in the comments, plant foldies, if you like Monstera Peru. That was another Monstera that was a little bit more uncommon to buy a couple years back, and that is the state of plant shopping and plant collecting. These days in 2024, we're able to find more plants. They're a little bit more accessible. That brings me so much joy. And you know, plant foldies, as far as your viewership and just the support everybody has given me, I still want to say thank you so much. For those that tune into my live premiere chats, for those that constantly give me comments, for those that send me direct messages on Instagram, you guys mean the world to me. And that is the reason why, although I have such a busy schedule when it comes to my my work and just life in general, I will try to make as much time to produce these videos. And again, while a lot of these videos you've seen the same plants, from the previous premiere, I just think it's interesting that you guys still invest so much time to listen to me talk about plants and to really just listen to my plant insights, listen to my personal life, all of the good stuff. And you can see here though, plant foldies. Now this is a syngonium that I was really wanting to purchase as well. So, syngoniums are making it back to my collection. Syngoniums, I would tell you, is actually my first love when it comes to plants. For a while they were my absolute favorite, then the aglaonemas took over. But then when I think about it, my very first house plant ever when I was, I think, in elementary school was a syngonium white butterfly. I grew that syngonium white butterfly actually in a bathroom with no windows, and it still survived. So, I would say syngoniums could possibly tolerate lower light conditions. I would not recommend that. They need more bright indirect light. And just to make sure that your syngonium stays healthy, make sure you water it more consistently than letting it dry out all the way. I would say, wait 60 to 70% when the water is the soil is completely dry, and give it a good soak. Syngoniums also could be pest prone as far as mealybugs and spider mites. So a good spray on neem oil would really keep the plant away from pests. And you can see right over here, plant foldies. Look at all of this jumbled mess of a plant. It looks like a jungle, so I will give it to this Walmart. But plant foldies, as you can see right here, there are just so many plants to pick from, and I'm trying to find more Monstera Thai Constellations. But this one right here, for instance, plant foldies, beautiful Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos for $19.84. You can see that the variegation is really nice. Now, with this particular pothos plant, you have to make sure that you give this quite a bit of light in order for the variegation to pop up. If you don't, it will not have the best variegation. And then here is another example of a chameleon ZZ, for instance. This one hasn't got nearly as much light, therefore the plant hasn't really gotten a lot of good variegation. I just want to make sure that people are aware that certain plants, they really do require a lot of light in order for the variegation or coloration to be at its maximum potential. Some plants, variegation is what you call stable. So that means even though they don't get the best lighting conditions, they'll still push out. But again, plant foldies, boom, 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 right there, Monstera Thai Constellation. And yes, I am going to probably buy one of these Monstera Thai Constellations. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy a Monstera Thai Constellation. That way I can actually do an actual plant giveaway on Instagram. My goal is to be able to source out plants and get plants to the local plant foldies or my plant foldies that live outside of the state of Texas. This is probably the Monstera that I am going to purchase right here. Gorgeous looking Monstera Thai Constellation. It's got a nice leaf already. It is another one of those Monstera or these plants that I think would make a perfect gift for somebody. So plant foldies, take a look at this. If you want a chance to win a free Monstera Thai Constellation, make sure you are on Instagram. I'm going to create an Instagram reel where I'll have the official the official entry. I will basically say you have to be a resident of the United States with a US address for me to send that to you. And then as far as that, you'll have to like the actual reel, and then also tag a minimum of 5 friends on Instagram to the reel. And you can actually get additional entries after the 5. So after 5, you'll get one. Your name will be put into the drawing, but every tag after the 5 to Instagram will be an additional. Your name's going to be put into the drawing additionally. So definitely check that out. But anyways, plant foldies, I am going to do a plant giveaway for a Monstera, free one. This one is unfortunate that this also had another leaf kind of just bend and snap. But it looks like there is a new leaf unfurling. I would totally rescue these, and honestly, plant foldies, if you are wanting to rescue a couple of these Monstera Thai Constellations, I would head over there as quickly as possible. There's still quite a bit, as you can see here, and I would even ask the managers if they might even potentially discount this. Sometimes the store big box may be empowered to go ahead and just give you a little bit of a discount. I actually asked for a manager, but unfortunately they didn't have them at this point. You know, it was around 7:30 at night when I was filming this, so they weren't available. But I definitely think we should get some more Monstera Thai Constellations. So plant foldies, again, if you live in the McKinney, Prosper, Allen, Frisco area and you're looking for a Monstera Thai Constellation, I think $40 is not a bad price for these plants. Definitely purchase it. You might even be able to get a discount. Don't quote me on that, but it never hurts to ask the big box store if they may discount you, especially if a plant may not be as healthy as possible. You know, a lot of these plants, and that's actually the fear of mine, is, you know, these gorgeous Monstera Thai Constellations, and actually any of these plants, once they start to decline in health, they end up just going to plant heaven and then getting composted in the trash. But I would hate for these plants to end up in the trash, because I mean, look at that. I have never seen a Monstera Thai Constellation at a Walmart, and so that is another you know, check mark on my bucket list of big box or plant shopping. Now, one of my goals is to be able to find like a Monstera deliciosa and find a sport variegated one. I've seen some people get lucky where they find like a green on green variegation of like a Monstera deliciosa, but the fact that I was able to find a Monstera Thai Constellation this evening really makes me happy, and therefore I am going to buy one of these Monstera Thai Constellations to do a free plant giveaway. So stay tuned for that. I am all about, you know, just bringing plants to plant foldies and just being able to share that with the plant foldie community. I just get excited about this kind of stuff, and it's just so exciting, plant foldies, to find a Monstera Thai Constellation. Now, for those that watched my Costco Monstera Thai Constellation plant find, that video got so many hits. It's almost at 3,000 views within the last 4 days. And you know, the reason why it got so many views is because my plant foldies, my super loyal ones, were able to hit the like button. And I know that I talk about that often on my plant shopping videos, as well as on the live premiere chats. I'll have some really supported plant foldies, like my best friend Isaac, who runs his channel Hi JR Sings. Please definitely check that out. And then Luke, as well as Kathy, telling people to hit the like button. It really does help. So if you made it this far and you're watching my videos and you want to see me continue to post daily plant shopping videos, please hit the like button. It doesn't take much effort to do that, and it really does help my channel. But plant foldies, as you can see right here, Monstera Thai Constellation, I am ready to share this to a lucky plant foldie. I believe the plant giveaway, I'm going to just have it run for about 3 weeks to give everybody a chance to enter. So definitely take a look out for that reel. Super excited for that, and you'll see that one particular Monstera Thai Constellation I'm gonna buy. And the thing about that particular Monstera Thai Constellation, call me crazy, but whenever there is a popular plant like that, sometimes I get a little bit protected. So I'm going to definitely put that Monstera Thai Constellation a little bit closer to me as I continue to film, because I would hate to be walking around looking for more of these and then I turn around and it's in somebody's basket. Sometimes that's happened to me in the past. And so that's why, like, I want to make sure that I have that Thai Constellation in my basket ready to go, ready to be able to ship out to a lucky plant foldie. But yes, that is the Monstera Thai Constellation I will be giving out for free. So please make sure, if you want a chance, I would highly recommend creating an Instagram account if you don't have one already. It's a super easy app. That is the fastest way to get in touch with me. And if you really want to get all of the Grow Folds news announcements, that is the platform I use for my YouTube channel. I don't use my community tab nearly as much. I feel like Instagram is a lot faster at getting that content. And if you want to even know what I'm doing on my daily life, I post often on my Instagram stories. So definitely check that out. So if you are a plant foldie that doesn't have an Instagram account, super easy to create one. And honestly, a lot of my announcements for PlantCon 2024 in terms of our meetup, in terms of where we're going to meet up, which is going to be at Peta's Planters at 11 a.m. this coming Saturday, August 31st. Definitely check that out. I will also have my Grow Folds t-shirts available. They're $20 if you want to purchase one. And if you are somebody that cannot make it to PlantCon 2024, I can ship to you. I just have to figure a way for you to be able to pay for it, and then I can calculate the shipping. I want to make sure that the shipping is accurate for you. Thank you to those who have sent me interest in terms of wanting to get a Grow Folds t-shirt. That one is just going to be the conventional one with my QR code to help support the channel. And for those that are going to be rocking out that Grow Folds t-shirt, absolutely excited to see that. As far as my plant foldies at PlantCon, I will literally be there all day, literally filming hours and hours of PlantCon videos. For those that can't make it, I hope that I'll be able to get a couple of plant foldies to be in the videos. That way you can make a cameo, and you just have to let me know if you're comfortable doing that. I would love that as well. I want to have an episode where I can just have a lot of plant foldies tell me their favorite plant, show me what plants they're going to get. There's just so many ideas I want to have for PlantCon. But anyways, plant foldies, sorry if I've just kind of rambled on about just things that are not about these plants, but you can see this plant right here. I actually am tempted to buy this Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Beautiful plant as well. And you know, the green on green variegation on this Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil, you can get a lot more better variegation if you provide it with more bright light. And light is always a plus for any plants. I've noticed that whenever you get more light to a plant, it just does better, especially the grow lights, which are typically gentle. I am excited to announce that Sansi Grow Lights has reached out to me again for me to review products. They're going to send me 3 grow light bulbs that are remote controlled, so you can actually time it. You can see the frequency of the light, and so we'll see how that goes. Super thankful that Sansi wants to continue to work with me. If you ask my personal opinion, I have the clip-on lights for Sansi, and they're so awesome. I bought them on Amazon actually, but I love Sansi grow lights. Now, another grow light I do want to try would be the Soltec grow light. So for those that have Soltec lights, please let me know how that has worked for you. But in terms of Sansi, definitely look out for that video, as they are sponsoring me for it. And I've used their products. They've done very well for me. And so I will check it out. I will also have a Sansi grow light promo code. So if you're wanting to buy Sansi grow lights, they are going to be a percentage off using my promo code, which I will get from them. But you can see plant foldies. I'm still looking at some of these plants, and you see how challenging it is to get some of these plants because they're just all over the place. So I will be filming more Walmart big box store shopping videos throughout the week. I'll be super busy. Actually, my day off is on Tuesday, so I am going to literally spend all day filming. That way I can just get a lot of content. And you know, for instance, this is a global green pothos, and one of my favorite pothos plants. Actually, I am so excited, for instance, to see some Japanese pothos at PlantCon. But the global green pothos is originally from Japan. It was a mutation that was found, and I am just excited that I will finally see some really uncommon and rare Japanese pothos. I would say that is probably one of the plant wish list plants that I want to get, and we'll see if I can actually snag some at a good price. And then over here, plant foliage, Dracaena fragrans. Now, Dracaena fragrans, this is for $9.97. Again, this is a Dracaena that doesn't have really compact growth. It can get fairly tall, 4 to 5 feet. It will get a caney type trunk once it starts to mature. But I love Dracaena fragrans because it is a plant that has that green on green variegation. It's got some nice striping, but it can tolerate lower light conditions. And you know, when it comes to plants with lower light condition tolerance, it makes it a little bit easier to take care of. Now, Dieffenbachia, unfortunately, is not a plant you can grow in a lower light condition. It is a plant that needs high light, so bright indirect light. I would put it at a south facing window or a west facing window. Or better yet, if you can have a grow light growing under it, it'll do much better. And then, with the golden pothos, while pothos plants can tolerate lower light conditions, it's interesting how a lot of big box stores or just plant nurseries will market it as a low light plant. It really does better whenever you give it light, especially for golden pothos, because you'll get more variegation out of it. If you don't give it enough light, it will definitely decline in health. And therefore you want to make sure that you give it the best lighting. Now over here, plant foldies is another beautiful plant. This is a Raven ZZ. Really like the look of the Raven ZZ as well. I like that because it's just easy to grow, and you can see right here, this is a Chameleon ZZ. I'm actually tempted to buy all three, but I already have these in my collection. So they've got a Chameleon ZZ, a Raven ZZ, and then we have another Chameleon ZZ. That one is actually a really nice looking one. Beautiful Chameleon ZZ. Plant foldies, do you have a Chameleon ZZ? If you don't, are you going to end up getting one? I would recommend the Raven ZZ as well. There are 5 ZZ plants that I need to add to my collection. Well, I already have the Chameleon ZZ, the Raven ZZ, a green ZZ, but I need to get a Zenzi ZZ, which is a compact ZZ, and a variegated ZZ plant. Now, that is another plant I'm looking forward to finding at PlantCon. Therefore, I'll have like 5 different varieties of ZZ plants. Now, as far as Alocasia, again, the Alocasia Milo Light Alocasia, that looks really nice. Unfortunately, mine did not do well. I ended up really neglecting it, unfortunately, and it just ended up dying. But I like the Milo Light Alocasia because when you touch it, it has very thick leaves, very leather texture leaves, and it's another plant that I didn't realize that plants could actually produce that much thickness on the foliage. And then you can see right here, plant foldies, we've got more ZZ plants. This is just a conventional one ZZ plant. This one is for $14.98. So again, ZZ plants look super cool, but you can see they've got the Chameleon ZZ. We've got the Raven ZZ right over here. Such a beautiful plant. And, I'm just glad that there are more varieties of plants being found at big box stores. And then you can see right over here, we've got another Silver Band Marantha hanging basket by Costa Farms. And I tell you what, Costa Farms is coming out with a lot of plants that are just going to bring so much excitement and joy to any plant lover. I am so thankful to Costa Farms. One of my biggest dreams is to be able to travel to Florida and be able to see the Costa Farms facilities, really see how that goes in terms of their operations. You have to think that they are the largest nursery that provides a lot of these houseplants in the entire world to big box stores, and it's so exciting. I would love to really see their facility. If I wasn't so deep into my career, I would definitely want to see about working for some type of nursery like that. I mean, my love for plants, it just really spawns beyond what most people will think. Whenever I have such a bad day, or whenever I'm feeling down or stressed, overwhelmed, I just take a minute and look at my plants and just really find a way to ground myself. We talk about plants making people happy. I do think that having greenery and plants really helps with somebody's mental health and just really keeping us grounded. And I think that's a great thing. I think, Mother Nature is such a healing process. I remember when I was out in the Philippines and I was looking at all of these plants, like even this Alocasia Black Velvet, for instance, I would see those types of alocasias growing out in the wild, and just taking in the fresh air, looking at just greenery, just green plants. There was such a healing and calming effect about it. And so plant foldies, I am just curious, do you utilize your plants as a way to really ground yourself, to really just decompress and just find a distressor for our everyday lives? Life in general can be tough. Life in general cannot always be fair, but one thing's for sure, plants are always going to be accessible to people. And I really hope that a lot of my big box store plant shopping videos or my plant content in general has really inspired people to grow plants, to find confidence in being able to grow plants successfully. There's a lot of uncertainty for some of our plants that are beginner plants and whether you can actually grow them. People often say, I don't have a green thumb. I don't really believe in green thumb. I really think that the success for a plant is trial and error. I still send a lot of plants to plant heaven. It's just a matter of how much time you'll have invested in your plants, what type of plants you bring into your plant collection, and just know and accept the fact that even if you give them the perfect optimal conditions, sometimes some plants are just not meant to grow in your collection, and that's okay. Speaking of plants that aren't a lot, not going to be growing in my collection, like look at all of these alocasias, for instance, like that alocasia nebula. I've had one before. I ended up sending it to plant heaven, but it's such a beautiful plant. And then that alocasia dragon scales, those are both beautiful plants. I really like the narrow shape of the sleeve. So I might be wrong on that plant ID. So plant foldies, let me know if that's actually the correct plant ID for the alocasia nebula and also the alocasia dragon scale. But that is another gorgeous looking plant. Now, as far as growing alocasias, I want to be able to grow alocasias in more semi-hydroponic situations. I feel like that is going to be the better bet for me. For instance, I've gotten an alocasia cuprea, and if you notice, this alocasia cuprea tends to look a little bit more fragile whenever I look at it at a Walmart. But when I went to Costco, those leaves were massive, and I'm hoping to go ahead and transition them to leca. I would ideally want to grow them in pond because I've seen a lot of people give some good reviews about being able to grow alocasia in pond and how it's just it's easier to manage. The pest control is easier as well. And so plant foldies, let me know if you know a source where I can get pond, because whenever I search for pond on Amazon, it is sold out and I need it ASAP. But for now, I have them in leca. And speaking of plants in leca, all of my plants are doing so well from Green Spaces ID. Green Spaces ID, again, is an Indonesian company that imports plants and sends it to any place actually in the world. So for my plant foldies in Canada that say that they don't get nearly as many plants, go to greenspaces.id and check it out. The plant pricing is fair, and I will tell you, based on even my unboxing video, that they send you some pretty healthy plants. They are pretty fast about asking your questions. I know that I will be picking up some Green Spaces ID plant at PlantCon. I ordered some and I will be able to get them on Saturday. I'm super excited. And so I hope you guys will definitely check that out. Definitely follow their Instagram. Leave a comment and tell them that you are a plant foldie and you found them through Grow Folds. I would love that as well. And then so plant foldies, you can see again, another hanging basket of golden pothos. This is for $19.84. I am on a pothos run. I want to collect all of my pothos. As I do this voiceover, I'm actually looking at my pothos Yesenia. I need to flood it with quite a bit of light to push out that variegation, and look at the variegation of this philodendron white princess. So I think this is a philodendron white princess. Plant foldies who are experts on this philodendron rubescens, definitely check, let me know if this is the correct plant ID. I do think it's gorgeous. That's by Growers Bench, $24.47 for that. And then you can see here, this is a philodendron white wizard. And I think it's a philodendron white wizard because it has high variegation, that white variegation, but the stems don't have that dark pink burgundy in color. It's actually green and white variegation. Really cool looking philodendron. That's one philodendron I actually don't have. Like I know that I have a philodendron white princess. I do think I have a philodendron white knight, but as far as the philodendron white wizard, I don't quite have that. And so I'm just curious to see if I can get more of a philodendron white wizard as well. But plant foldies, what do you think about the plants you've seen so far at this Walmart? This is a Walmart I probably should frequent a little bit more often, just because I feel like they do get quite a bit of plants. You can see there are so many alocasias. I need another alocasia black velvet. I would love to get an alocasia black velvet pink variegated from PlantCon, but we're going to see what that plant pricing looks like. I might invest into it because, you know, alocasias, they are a challenging plant to grow. I wouldn't recommend them for anybody starting to grow plants. Like some of my alocasia, they have a small humidifier that I run the humidity for, and It actually helps them a lot. I actually have a grow light as well. I know some people actually grow their more rare and uncommon alocasias in a cabinet. I don't have a setup like that yet, but I'm thinking about possibly doing that. We'll see. My plant room, which is actually my plant heaven room, because I would say the majority of plants there just need to be cleaned out. I really have to redo that, and that's honestly why I haven't done a plant house tour. It's just that my plants right now are not in perfect condition. I want to be able to be kind of cool like some of those other plant YouTubers who have perfect plant collections. I will say, whenever you look at content on social media, just know that not everybody's plant collection is perfect. It is easy to pick and choose what you show. Part of me wants to show some of my plants that are not in the best health. Therefore, people can kind of relate to that, because I feel like plants in general, like growing plants indoors, it's a very challenging hobby as well. There's a lot of time and effort you have to put into it. Like, I just recently found out some of my plants that I'm growing in my bathroom have had a thrips outbreak, and that's me just forgetting to spray them with neem oil for like 2 weeks. Some of those plants I thought could just be left alone, and that's the case. So as far as plants like this, for instance, look at this aglaonema, so gorgeous. I'm glad that I bought them, and I'm glad that Costa Farms is releasing these again. Now, if you know the plant ID for this aglaonema, let me know. And if you don't have aglaonema plant foldies, you need to buy one today. They are so easy. But as far as like just plant pests, that's one of the challenges of growing plants. And whenever you're buying plants at a big box store, like for instance, if once I buy that Monstera Thai Constellation, for instance, that Thai Constellation is going to be sprayed down with my plant foldy neem oil spray that I make myself. I'll put some systemic granules and make sure that any potential pests could be eradicated. And while I am waiting to pick a winner for that plant giveaway, just know that I will do my best to make sure that that plant is healthy and pest-free. Super important to make sure that we have pest-free plants before we add them to the collection. And then over here is a philodendron pink princess. So this one has okay variegation, but what's really cool about this is it looks like it's been growing here for a while, because it's pushed out a bunch of new growth, and there's about 2 babies that have popped up as well. So plant foldies, whenever I go big box store plant shopping, I also search for plants that have multiple plants available. I think that that's what you need to do. That way you get the best value for your plants. And this philodendron pink princess is $24.47. Now I've been able to get them on sale for like $7. So you just have to get lucky when it comes to these plants. And that's the reason why I will be searching a lot of these plant shops, these big box stores on Tuesday, and trying to film it. You can see this is an Alocasia pink dragon. Really like the look of Alocasia pink dragon, specifically for the leaf shape, the leaf veining, but more so the pink stems. And you can see again plant foldies. I'm just looking at all of these beautiful chameleon ZZ plants. I almost want to buy another one just because it looks so cool. But again, plant foldies, in order for that to have the best coloration, you want to make sure that it gets a lot of light. And then here is another aglaonema, and this is another aglaonema I need to add back into my collection. You can see that this one has more of like a silvery tone about it with the green, and I love the white stems. Gorgeous looking aglaonema. This one is for $14.97. This is in a self-watering planter by Costa Farms again. That is another plant that I would recommend. Look at the undersides of the leaves. And with aglaonema, they are marketed as a plant that can be low light tolerant. I would say give it as much light as you can possibly get, and it will do just fine. And then right over here is a philodendron white knight. So as far as the white knight, I don't know if the white knight means the white knight looks good on that, but I really like the variegation on this Training Tropicals. I need to see if I can get a white knight, although the white wizard kind of looks cooler. You can see the stems on the white wizard had more white variegation. I have to really have somebody give me an explanation on the differences of the three. I might need a visual representation of all three: philodendron white princess, white knight, and white wizard. So plant foldies, if you know the differences, please let me know in the comments. But I am just pilfering through some of these plants. Like you can see right here, this is another chameleon ZZ plant. Now this chameleon ZZ plant also has that new growth where it comes out more of that yellowish neon color. Love the look of that plant. And it's another plant that I think everybody needs to add, just ZZ plants in general. So if you're gonna ask me easy care plants to start off, go start yourself off with the pothos plant. Get yourself a ZZ plant. Get yourself an aglaonema, and maybe like a philodendron, and then you should be good to go as far as your starter plants. You can also add a syngonium. So plant foldies, what do you think so far of these plants that I've shown you at Walmart? You can see they've got the large foliage plants right here for $24, a bunch of Monstera deliciosas, but I feel like these Monstera deliciosas need to get rescued because they are getting a little bit too much sun, and I hate seeing big plants decline in health because it took a while to grow that plant. But plant foldies, as you can see here, I'm just gonna walk through one last time to show you all of these plants. Let me know what you think, and if you haven't made it to the like button, please make sure you are hitting the like button. It helps a ton. It did that for my my Costco video where I feature some plant shopping videos. We'll see what that looks like.
You don't want my love, you just want me crying over you, and I'm thinking about you, thinking about you.
As you can see, plant foldies, gorgeous looking alocasia and just philodendron. I might go back for these alocasia dragon scales. Again, plant foldies, I am gonna go broke. So if anybody here wants to support me by sending me a super sticker or a super thanks, that's a way to leave a tip. Totally be open for that. Totally down to get some help with some of my plants. I will say you are definitely not obligated to do so, but if you feel inclined to support me and go fund me on some of my plant finds and plant buys, definitely do so. That is an option. You can see that there's like a little $sign next to the actual video, so definitely check that out. But you can see right there, plant foldies, we've got some Monstera Thai Constellations. Look at that one right here. I want to see about trying to rescue some of these, so maybe I might go back and try to find a manager to see if they might give me a little bit of a discount. I definitely want to try to get those Thai Constellations, but today I will be getting one to do as a plant giveaway. You can see that this one actually is a beautiful Monstera Peru, and if I only had all the money in the world, I would totally buy all of these plants. But I am curious, plant foldies, if you guys actually have a plant budget. How much do you budget in monthly for your plant finds? I know that sometimes I just go overboard, but I have been very good about it. There were some plants I really thought about buying today, aside from just a Monstera Thai Constellation. Like, I would love to buy another Monstera Peru. There are some other plants that, even though I already have one, I like having multiples of certain plants. Like, I'm curious to see, plant foldies, if you actually have that as well in your collection, where you love a plant so much that you have multiples of the plants. But you can see right here, plant foldies, so many good looking plants. They're fairly healthy considering they've been kind of jumbled up a little bit. But again, plant foldies, especially if you're a local plant foldie that lives out in the McKinney, Prosper, Frisco, Allen, Plano area, definitely check this out. If you want a Monstera Thai Constellation, definitely go here. These definitely need a home. I would recommend it. They're fairly healthy and they're very easy to take care of as well. So we'll see what that looks like. But plant foldies, again, let me know what you think about that Monstera Thai Constellation. Do you own one? Do you want one? Because there is a option to where you could potentially win one through my free Instagram plant giveaway, so definitely check that out. But I am gonna go buy this particular Monstera Thai Constellation, take it home, and a lucky plant foldee is going to be able to take this Monstera Thai Constellation home. Again, the official rules are going to be you're going to need to make sure that you like the reel, the Instagram reel, and then you need to tag at least 5 friends to this particular reel, and then also check and then for any additional ones, you'll get some more drawings as well. But again, plant foldies, I hope you like this video. Please hit the like button. I already purchased this Monstera Thai Constellation. This is Richia Grow Folds. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow on a brand new video. Bye.